Well, thanks for staying with us. This is Firecrackers. Let's get talking now as we're joined by human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana. He joins us live tonight on the program here in Lagos. Senior advocate, it's such a delight to speak with you. We appreciate all what you have done for our beloved nation, Nigeria. Now, much has been said about the Sunday Igboho's case, but just how complex and how complicated is this particular case?
At all. Very simple and straightforward. The Republic of Benin is insisting that there is rule of law in that country, and therefore you cannot be allowed to abduct Sunday Igboho or Chief Sunday Adeyemo without going through due process. And this should not be strange to Nigeria. This should not be strange to Nigeria because this is a regular occurrence whereby somebody is wanted in his country, is arrested abroad, either through the involvement of Interpol or the security agencies in that country. You submit a request for extradition, and that will go through due process. And that is what Benin Republic is teaching Nigeria.
All right, senior advocate, but then again, what's your general assessment and overview of what has played out from when because we're speaking to you for the first time on this platform, from when his home was invaded in Oyo State and until when he was declared wanted by the DSS. What's your general assessment of this particular story?
Well, what we are witnessing, or what occurred in Ibadan on the 1st of July, is alien to our law, is alien to our human rights law regime. You cannot attack the home of a citizen at night unless it's involved in the commission of a crime. So, because a criminal suspect is presumed innocent until the contrary is proved by the state, so he's entitled to his sleep. And members of the neighborhood are entitled to their sleep. So if you want to arrest a suspect, you just have to wait and allow the day to break. And then you show a warrant of arrest. If it's not involved in the actual commission of the offense at the moment, if you want to search the house, you produce a search warrant. If you want to have him declared wanted, that has to be done by a court of law. And this is the position of the law. And if you arrest any suspect, you have to contact the family or his next of kin or her next of kin so that his whereabouts will be known. Again, this is in line with sections 6 and 7 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. You cannot arrest any person in lieu of another person. These are so basic and elementary in our law that you do not expect any security agency to compromise or waive the rights of Nigerians. And look at what has happened in Benin Republic. We arrested Chief Sunday Igboho, Adeyemo, and his wife were arrested on Tuesday night. Less than 2 days later, on Thursday morning, they were arraigned in court. And when the Republic of Benin discovered that the wife, there is no basis to hold her, she was allowed to go. In the case of Nigeria, we are told that 2 people were killed in the residence of Chief Sunday Adeyemo, aka Igboho, on the 1st of July. Where are the bodies? Where is the postmortem, or where are the postmortem reports? Up to now, today is the 25th of July. None of the 12 people taken away by the State Security Service has been arraigned before any court of law. Whereas under our Constitution, Section 35, subsection 4, if somebody is arrested in a place like Ibadan or Abuja, where you have courts, the person is supposed to be taken to a competent court within 24 hours. If it is outside the city where you do not have a court, within a radius of about 48 hours, it shall be taken to court within 48 hours. so that if he's going to be detained thereafter, it will be on the orders of a court. There must be a remand order. Now, these provisions of our constitution are not being complied with in this case. So this is the dilemma. You know, this is the embarrassment that Nigeria has exposed itself to. Now we have to learn from Benin Republic on how to treat criminal suspects.
Senior Advocate, yes, well, Senior Advocate, I'm also just wondering just how much longer can Benin Republic keep holding on to Sunday Ademo, knowing too well the relationship Benin Republic has in her big brother, quote, Nigeria?
It has nothing to do with brotherhood here. We are dealing with the rule of law. And what Benin is teaching us is that it's not going to compromise the rule of law. We're not going to release this guy unless you can prove that he has committed offenses in Nigeria. And there must be extradition in line with the laws of that country and the ECOWAS Convention on Extradition.
All right, Senior Advocate. The leader of Igboho's legal team, Senior Advocate,
Nigeria has not submitted a request. And if the request is not submitted within a period of 20 days, it's going to be let go. It's going to be asked to go away.
All right, Senior Advocate. Now, the leader of Igboho's legal team, Yomi Aliyu SAN, had in a statement noted that his client could not be extradited because of the 1984 extradition treaty between Nigeria, Benin, and two other countries, excluded political refugees like Igboho. Help us, talk to us from your perspective. As a matter of fact, help us simplify the 1984 extradition treaty, if you may.
With profound respect to my colleague, the 1984 bilateral, multilateral agreement between Nigeria, Togo, Benin, and Ghana has been superseded by the 1994 ECOWAS Convention on Extradition, which has not been domesticated by Nigeria. By the way, it's not been domesticated by Nigeria, but in the case of Benin Republic, it's applicable because under the law of that country, you do not need any special domestication. Once it's been ratified or signed by the head of state, as was in the case in Nigeria, it's applicable. And so under the provisions of this law, of the extradition, there are certain irreducible requirements. One is that you are not going to extradite anybody for political offenses. And if there is no assurance that he's going to get fair trial in his country, he won't be extradited. Furthermore, if the offenses, any of the offenses are tried with death penalty, there is a problem with that. But as far as the law is concerned, the extradition is concerned, the convention, the person being requested to be extradited to any member state of the ECOWAS is entitled to a fair hearing. He will be listened to in the court, or his lawyers will be listened to, and so that is the position.
I may also want to get your perspective as regards Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho's, what has played out very recently. Senior Advocate, how does this place the image of Nigeria, especially to the world or to the international community?
Well, I think what is important for us to realize is that the government of our country must have full confidence, full fidelity in the rule of law, and learn to respect the human rights of citizens, whether they are criminal suspects or not. In 1962, Chief Tony Nauru, the late Chief Tony Nauru, was wanted in Nigeria, and he was found in the United Kingdom. The government of Nigeria made a request, and that request was processed. The matter when the extradition proceedings were filed by the British government. When Chief Tony Nauru lost out in the court, he was brought to Nigeria to stand trial along with the for treasonable felony. Chief Awolowo and his lieutenant were charged with treasonable felony. And so, in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, if the report credited to the government, I mean, if some of the information oozing out of Abuja with respect to the abduction and rendition of the gentleman is anything to go by, Nigeria has been exposed to untold embarrassment. And that is why, up to now, the government of Kenya cannot openly admit that it was taken out of their country outside the ambit of the law, because Kenya has an extradition act. There is an extradition treaty among the members of the Commonwealth. Both Kenya and Nigeria are members of the Commonwealth. So one will have expected Nigeria to make a request, to submit a request to Kenya so that it could be processed for its extradition. But in this case, I think there is more. I mean, we haven't been able to justify what happened. But what the Republic of Benin is saying, we are not Kenya. You must go through our own process. We must take this guy to court. You must submit a request, and the request will be examined by our court. And until that is done, we cannot determine his fate. And this is how it should be, for the law says so.
All right, now let's see if we can touch on other areas very briefly, because we are beginning to wind down on the conversation tonight with our senior advocate, Femi Falana. One would expect an agitator to have planned his exit maybe properly, if you may. I wonder what you think of this.
Well, I mean, this is a question that should go to the government. But what is important, and I must make this point abundantly clear, for me, both Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu are products, have been thrown up by a dysfunctional neo-colonial.
Yes, we can hear you, senior advocate. Just go ahead with your thoughts, please.
I think that whether one agrees with Sunday Igboho or Kanu, we must admit, the government must concede that there is a problem which has to be addressed. Problems of insecurity, of unemployment, of alleged marginalization, which have given rise to the emergence, which have led to the emergence of separatists. And the best way the government can go about this problem is to sit down and enter into a meaningful dialogue with these people who have lost confidence in the corporate existence of Nigeria. Because members of the ruling class, many members of the ruling class, have at one time or the other expressed a loss of confidence. They have expressed loss of confidence in the corporate existence of Nigeria. Some of them took up arms in the past. Some of them staged coups in the past to dismantle the country, to disrupt the democratic process in the country. So if young people are also emulating them or following their bad example, the best way is not to declare wars on them, but to see how you can rule them and get them to repose confidence in the country. And that is my understanding.
All right, I guess that's a good place to anchor our conversation tonight. Senior Advocate of Nigeria and human rights activist Femi Falana, I would like to thank you most kindly for speaking with us tonight.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right, so there you go. Femi Falana, human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, sharing his perspective on the trial of Sunday Igboho. Well, that's a good place to anchor our conversation tonight. We'd like to thank you most kindly for joining us on the other side. My name is Kelly Egiga. Good evening.